So guys, Joker is coming out in a matter of, well, just a little over a month now, October 4th, and there's been a whole bunch of new information coming from Joaquin Phoenix, Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker himself, and the director Todd Phillips, as well as a bunch of new cool images that we can go over, so let's break all of this down. How's it going, Jokers? Welcome to a brand new Joker movie update. Haven't done one of these in a little while since I think my Why I Think Joker Will Be Awesome video. A little bit of a shameless plug, but check that out in the cards above if you haven't seen it already. It just passed 100k views, so thank you guys for all your support on that. I just thought I'd put it there because I did work hard on that, and you know, I think it's going to be pretty successful, and that video says why. But back to the point of this video, guys. We have literally got a bunch of really cool photos to kind of fanboy and fangirl out about, but also a whole bunch of information from the director Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix himself. And I say a whole bunch, when you think of the Joker movie, there's been little tidbits here and there. Maybe Todd Phillips said something on his Instagram saying, meet Zazie Beetz' character or something like that, but we haven't really gone into what they want us to take out the film. They haven't really said the way they view the film or what they've put into it that they maybe want people to perceive, different kind of things like that. And I find this stuff mega interesting, so I thought you would as well. It's going to be kind of one of those things where I go through the article and then kind of react with my thoughts and opinions on it, and then we'll go over some of the really cool images that you can see in the article as well, but there's a couple of other ones that have come out recently that you may or may not have seen. But if you definitely want to make sure, by the way, guys, that you stay up to date with this stuff, subscribe to the channel, of course, like the video for more content like this, but also join my Discord server because I do share images like this that I may not have actually made a video of, just in terms of, you know, I'm not going to make a video on one image. So if you want to make sure you're up to date with like all kinds of things discussion wise, join the Discord server, and we can also just talk about everything there as well. So as always, everyone, the link to everything you can find, whether it's the photos to the Twitter page to this article itself, will be in the description down below. But as you can see, Joker puts on a happy face in these exclusive images from the Joaquin Phoenix starring movie. So we spoke to Joaquin Phoenix and director Todd Phillips about the supervillain movie, and they say some really interesting stuff, as already mentioned, which I just have been craving for a little bit more insight into the way they have wanted to go about doing this. Obviously, for the longest time, whether you're kind of finding, well, it's kind of controversial amongst the really hardcore Joker fandom, just because the Joker doesn't have an origin, but there's a lot of people who think, you know, the way they're doing this Elseworlds film is definitely not the way, but I am on the complete opposite end where it's just like, well, no, they do have free reign, and they actually touch upon stuff like that in this article. So it feels really good for them themselves to be saying stuff like this. So the Joker remains arguably the best comic book villain ever created. Well, I think everyone here, well, a lot of people here will kind of agree with that one. Like the video, okay, that's a cheap way of liking getting likes on the video. But yeah, if you agree, like it. With such actors such as Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson previously bringing the iconic character to life on the big screen, next comes Joaquin Phoenix's version, as we all know, as the iconic Batman enemy, with the actor portraying Arthur Fleck in Joker's forthcoming solo flick. So for this latest issue of the sister publication, Total Film magazine, okay, so that explains why it's Games Radar, but then Total Film. This is part of that magazine, fair enough, along with the director and co-writer Todd Phillips, spoke about Joker and how the tale of the eponymous corrupted comedian offers a mirror into the real world without getting into the particulars of politics. Now you can see the exclusive images, but let's get into the meat. Let's get into the meat. Now, before anyone worries about politics or inserting politics into the movies, the way they describe it is kind of weird, but it's like they are, but they're not. But it's just like they can't necessarily help it at the same time, because there's always that opportunity with these stories to mirror something. And to be honest, I perfectly agree with what they say in this article, just with regards to how, you know, with the Joker's origin and stuff like that, you can, I mean, things are relatable in these stories. I mean, not that we can all relate in becoming a really unhinged, crazy clown who does many bad things, but you will get what I mean through what they're saying, and then we'll like talk about that then. So there were times where, this is Joaquin Phoenix, there were times where I go like, look at this effing world and how we lack empathy and real compassion and care. Phoenix says when asked if he needed to only turn on the news to help shape his portrayal. I feel like there were things that Odd and co-writer Scott Silver were touching on that they were relevant to what we may be experiencing now, but I also felt like they weren't being didactic. And they weren't steering you towards one particular way of watching the movie and saying, this is the cause. To me, the Joker. I'm reluctant to shape the way people view this movie. There's not really a right way of looking at this film. Part of what is so fascinating about the Joker is that there isn't the specific origin, there's not a specific catalyst, and so it allows us as a viewer to project our own ideas of discontent or whatever we feel onto the character. So yes, I think there are a lot of things that are relevant. I hope that people explore those things and talk about them. It's a safe way to do that, but I also feel like it's just not that. So, what he's trying to say there, and, I'm not trying to say you guys can't figure this out from yourself, but it's just my opinion in the terms of, we're in all of these movies, and Todd Phillips touches on this in a second. It's like you can always put your own narrative into what's already on top of the narrative. One thing we know about Joker already is that it is kind of political, and lots of people quite apprehensive about it in this sense, in terms of obviously that when this was first started filming, there's lots of Wayne to blame stuff, leaks of the scripts and stuff like that, is that Joker stands up for the common man, and starts an uprising for like the working. There's lots of things like that. That I guess he's saying you could, talk about and this film raises and whatnot, but at the same time, you don't have to draw that out of it because it's not trying and it never was actually intending to be a political messaged movie. Now, Todd Phillips had to say on top of this that he agrees that Joker is not meant to be political, but it's meant to be provocative. He continues, I think there will be some 21-year-olds that go and watch it and you just think that it's a version of a Joker story, and that's fine too. But I don't want to define it as a message movie because it's not. But it definitely is. The same way that The Dark Knight was not a message movie, but it definitely was a post 9/11 terrorist sort of kind of shite thing. So, I definitely get what he's trying to say there. I haven't looked at the leaked script. I've heard that they did rewrites of script pages, so it won't be the way even if you've seen it leaked, even if you've read that. But at the same time, it's not like they would have maybe one or two, but they wouldn't have rewritten major plot points. So what I'm trying to say is it will be different. But as you probably already saw when we've been discussing this, there's been these new images. I just, I've always been one to love this Joker look. I've always been on board with it straight away. This is a really nice image here of Joaquin looking into a mirror, or should I say Joker, in his Joker look, saying put on a happy face. It's just emphasizing that reiterated message throughout the movie, which does contribute to his break in terms of thinking, I thought my life was a tragedy, but now it's a comedy, consistently reminding himself to put on that happy face and kind of subside all the mental crap that he's going through. To be honest, from these images, I'm always just getting ever so hyped about this movie. I'm guessing if you're watching this far into the video, you are too. Very intrigued to see what role Zazie Beetz' character has to, how she intertwines with Joaquin's Arthur Fleck. Will it contribute to his break? Will she be just supportive of him throughout whatever he's doing? I haven't read the leaked script, so I have no idea where she's going to end up in the movie. It's just going to be very interesting. I don't want spoilers down in the comments below if you have read it, or if you at the very least do put spoilers, make sure you put spoilers after the read more bit by entering a few space lines, if you know what I mean. On top of all this information, I thought it'd be cool to include, because a few of you were asking me about it the other day, is that in a new interview with Italian publication Venardi, Phoenix said that he saw some of the Joker's tics from people suffering with pathological laughter. So this is what Joaquin had to say about that. I saw videos of people suffering from pathological laughter, a mental illness that makes mimicry uncontrollable, which is, a very interesting way of, methodizing his approach to the Joker. And it just brings me to the scene of when he's on the train and he's laughing, but he's also crying when the other people call him a freak or a creep or whatever they said in the trailer. I'm probably showing on screen right now, but yeah, definitely an interesting approach. The fact that maybe through the mental break of Arthur Fleck throughout the film, he actually does have pathological laughter, which is a super interesting, as I said, approach to the Joker. But they also visit more about the politics side of things in this same article. As I said, I'll link it down below. With this film, we are not inviting people to rebel, Todd Phillips explained, but let's try to explain why people could start a revolution. But either way, guys, I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. How do you feel about Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix weaving in that kind of, they're saying it's not a message film, but there is still kind of an element you can draw out of that. I like the comparison they gave about The Dark Knight because that makes sense. But I also feel like the Joker character, especially I've always been completely fine with them showing this origin for a mentally ill person who's just downtrodden by society and disregarded finding that kind of psychological break to the point where he becomes this character, the Joker. I'm completely fine with that. But what you have to kind of ask yourself about, and I don't think it's getting woke or anything, is that what comes along with that, what comes along with Joker's struggle in this movie are real things in society, I guess, that, you know, could, well, it's not going to cause people like this, but, you know, some people are pretty evil in the world. But what I'm trying to say is it will highlight issues, and I don't mind that. I can imagine maybe some people would get a little bit like, oh, politics, social stuff and stuff like that. I don't think they're, you know, as they said themselves, they're not going to get intricately into that. Some people will take different things out of it. Oh, you know, it's a Joker story, and that's fine. They go home, they think that's cool. A new iteration, live action, well, an origin to the Joker. But there is kind of deeper stuff than that they're delivering, which I am going to be finding very fascinating about forming an opinion on for when I do my movie review. Now, this is a bit of future Boba here, but with regards to if there would ever be a sequel, Todd Phillips was asked about it, and he said, one thing I will tell you, I would do anything with Joaquin, any day of the week. He continued that there's nobody like him. If he was willing to do it, and if people were to show up to this movie, and Warner's came to us and said, you know what, if you guys could think of something, well, I have a feeling that he and I could think of something pretty cool. Now, to be honest, guys, I honestly wouldn't read into that too much. Never say never. Obviously, this movie isn't even out yet, but I think that's more just him saying, despite what he said, I would be up for this. Like, I would always work with him, and you know what, maybe if there was something there in the story that truly made sense, I would actually do another, you know, sequel of this Joker, Arthur Fleck, Joaquin's Joker, into another movie. But as I said, don't read into it. I'm actually surprised it's been spoken about, just because I thought he would actually say it's probably a standalone movie, if you know what I mean. You know, I loved my time on it. I would love to work with Joaquin again. But the fact he's saying that there's a feeling he and Joaquin could come up with something pretty cool, then, you know, that's pretty awesome. I have to admit, I didn't expect to hear that. So, you know, let me know what you think, I guess, about that. I would just love to hear what you guys think about this. Obviously, the images that you've been seeing throughout this video are freaking awesome. I can't wait to see more. But obviously, that is basically everything I've got to say in this video, guys. So, yeah, just let me know what your thoughts down in the comments below. Join my Discord server if you want to talk to me about Joker personally. The link is always in the description down below in every single video. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you Jokers in the next video. Goodbye.